Yeah, I got a funny relationship to all this. I was a bit of a shit of a child. Never really settled in primary school, never settled in high school, ended up going to 5 high schools. And the reason was that I was diagnosed at 14 with bipolar disorder. And I went into treatment for a little while, hated it. I gave it up. I used to tell people, my parents, my doctors, I was taking treatment and I wasn't. And so I just spiraled again and again, but did nothing about it really until 10 years ago. It ended up, crazy behaviour, massive alcohol and substance abuse along the way. But eventually I realised that if I wasn't prepared to take action, why should I expect my kids to? I was providing a very poor example. For a very long time, I refused to talk about this. I got to the point where I said to myself, if I'm not prepared to talk about the fact that I have a lifelong, significant, and sometimes life-threatening mental health problem, why the hell should you talk about it? The whole reason I like to bake, the reason I still bake, is that this is my therapy. I guess I would encourage all of you to not only feel confident talking about where you're at yourself, but if you're not prepared to talk about it yourself, because you're not ready yet, at least be prepared to ask someone else. Because that can be the starting point, not just for them, but for you. If you haven't thought about engaging with a program like Healthy Heads, do. It's a matter of walking through that door first and then see what happens after that. So thanks very much for coming along. And big thanks to Australia Post for putting on something like this.
The challenge with anything to do with mental health is, what do we do? The conversation with Ed of a conversation is something, it's important. Some days it seems insurmountable, but I think just every single conversation does something to an individual. And how we move the dial for everyone, well, we just persist.